In this video, we're going to explore why WordPress is the best when it comes to designing websites. Did you know that close to 50% of the whole internet runs on WordPress? That's really amazing. In fact, it's over 500 million websites that are running WordPress online. So let's dive in and let's explore the reasons why WordPress is really awesome. So you may be wondering why I'm opening this website called ZipWP. When it comes to WordPress, you do need to host it somewhere. So there are different ways that you can run WordPress. You can install it on your local computer. You can also have it on a program like ZipWP, or you can actually go and sign up for a hosting account. So in this case, we are going to use this platform. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. It's free to sign up, by the way, so you can go ahead and sign up if you need an account, and you can follow along and see how WordPress works. So over here, I'm going to go to staging sites. So these are all websites that are running WordPress. So let's create a brand new blank website and see how this works. Okay, so let's call this WordPress 2025. Okay, now I like you putting a P on WordPress. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a website. So as you can see, my site is already created. I can now click on login. So when it comes to WordPress, it operates on two views. One of them is, let's call it your backdoor or your office. And then it also has the front facing, which is what everyone sees when they come to your website. So in this case, this is the back end, which is my backdoor. And if I open this in a new tab, you're going to notice that we have a basic website. And here's our title here, WordPress 2025. Here, I don't have many pages. I just have sample page. And pretty much that's about it. So we get a basic layout, but what really makes WordPress really amazing is the fact that you can customize this and make this even more functional. So the first thing you want to look at here is over here where it says plugins. If I go to add new plugin, now think of plugins as apps for your phone, whether it's an Android or it's an Apple, iOS or whatever iPhone. It's the same thing. This adds more functionality to your website. And there's a ton of plugins over here. In fact, I'm sure we can see the number somewhere, but anyway, looks like I can't see it. But you can have an idea of what or how many people have signed up. Here we have 9 million plus people using the classic editor. A Kismet. This is 6+ million people. So as you can see, this will give you some idea as to what is happening. Here we have our popular ones. So they're also segmented. So here we see Elementor, we have Contact Form 7, Yoast SEO, we have WooCommerce. Now let's say you want to run your websites as an online store, then you want to go ahead and install WooCommerce. So already from having a basic website that looks like this, we can turn it into a fully functional online store where people can actually go and buy products, and then you make money. And this is one of the reasons why WordPress is very powerful. You can plug in so many things, like if you want to turn your website into a membership website, you can also do that as well. There's a plugin for that. Now these plugins, some of them are free, some of them are premium, so it just depends which direction you want to take. Okay, so these are the plugins. Now if you want to change the look and feel of your website, you can using our basic situation that we have here. So let's go ahead and create a brand new page. And by the way, if you want to have a look at your pages, this is where you would come and have a look. And here we have the sample page and privacy policy. To add a new page, we can just click on add new, and then we can give our page a name. In fact, let me close out of here. I'm not sure why that came up. So let's call this page home. We can go ahead and publish it like that. And now our page has been published. If we want to add content to this page, here's where things get really exciting. All I have to do is to click on this plus button, and then I need to decide what I need to add into that. So I can go ahead and click on browse all, and this is going to give me an idea of what I can add there. So let's say I want to go ahead and add a heading. So I just click on heading, and then now I can come in and customize this. So let's call this is my heading, like that. Okay, now over here on the right, this is where we can go in and change the colors of our text and so on. So over here, we can just go in and change it just like that. And this is going to suit my colors that I want. I can also go in and change the background if I want to. So let's say this is going to be my background for my heading. I can go ahead and do that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to clear that. Over here, we can adjust the size. So we can go with large, we can go with extra large, and extra large, and so on. We can also play around with our borders, our radius, and so on. So as you can see, each element here that we add is going to come with its own customizations over here on the right, which is really cool. So let's say I want to add something else over here. You notice that we have this plus button. Just click on that. We can browse all again. And this, let's add something different. Let's say I want to add an image. I can just come over here and then I'm going to say upload. So let's see if I have an image that I've downloaded. Here's a couple of images. So let's say I want to add that image. I can click on open and now my image has been added. Now, what else can I do to my image? I can adjust my width, I can adjust my height, my resolution, and so on. So already we're starting to build our website slowly. Next, I can click here and I can also add something else. Perhaps maybe this time it's a paragraph. I can just choose it from here and I can say this is paragraph text. Okay, so let's click on save. And now it's time to take a quick view at our page. There we go. So this is my heading, this is my image, and this is my paragraph text. So as you can see, I'm starting to put my work together and this is pretty cool. If I need to go in and edit this, I can always click here and click on edit page. Right, so there's more to this as well. So let's say I want to target exactly where everything is here. I can always click here on this overview. And now we can see that we have our image here. I can target it. Here's my paragraph text. Here's my heading. I can also outline things here if I wanted to. But as you can see, this is pretty much straightforward. So you may be saying, but you don't have a lot of flexibility when it comes to working with the default WordPress. And that is absolutely true. And this is why there are companies that have dedicated their business to creating what are known as themes. So I want to start you off with a basic theme. And by the way, this theme here is quite popular as well. So we need to move away from this edit mode. So all you need to do is to click here on WordPress. Okay. So what we need now is to come over here to appearance, click on themes, and then we're going to say add new theme because this one here is very limited. So there's quite a few, but the one I'm going to go with is this one right here. Astra. I'm going to click on install and it's free by the way, but it does have quite a lot of features. I'm going to go ahead and activate. So now Astra has been installed and activated. So let's just take a look and see what has changed. If I refresh this, notice now the layout is going to be different. Oops, but now everything is blank. It looks like nothing is really happening. Well, this is where we need to go in and start making all our changes. So first of all, if you click on customize, we now have the ability to go in and change the fonts, the way things look on our website and so on. So first of all, we can come over here to our header. We can change how our header looks. We can give this so many things here. We can change the layout of things, the colors. And if we want to, we can also go in and adjust all our fonts. So for example, if I come over here to typography, I can change it over here. I can choose this one here. I can also go in and change my colors and the heading font itself. So let's say I want Poppins as my font. I can select it here. So I am more precise now when it comes to choosing the font that I want on my website, which is really cool. I can go ahead and do this for our heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Back over here, I can continue and add all my colors. So let's say I want to customize the colors for my website. I can go in and start changing all the colors here. So let's say I want my accent color to be that. It's going to go ahead and update across the whole website. Okay, so that's the colors. If I need to adjust my buttons, I can come over here and choose, the buttons that I need for my website. And then once I'm happy with all of that, I can hit publish. So as you can see, we now have a theme that works really well and it's much easier to go in and customize. But you may be thinking, well, if we come back over here to our pages, are we able to go in and have that flexibility that we had before? And the answer is yes. So if we go to edit, we're going to be taken back to this page here, but notice what happened. My heading has changed and the title here has changed. Now the cool thing is, if I don't want the title of the page, I can just click on this eye icon and it's going to be gone now. Okay, but this is much cleaner. I'm sure you can agree with me. If I hit save and view the page, notice now that my title has changed. This is much cleaner. I have a header here. I have my navigation as well as my basic footer. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so let's go back and edit this one more time. So I'm going to click on this WordPress here. And this time I want to add a bit more functionality to the way I'm going to put my website together. And what I need now is to extend my design elements. So there's also another plugin by the same team that put together Astra. So if I come over here to plugins and click on add new plugins, I can choose a plugin called Spectra like that. And here it is. I'm going to click on install and then activate. Okay, great. So now that it's installed and activated, next I'm going to come over here to dashboard. And by the way, you can also upgrade and get these extra features like dynamic content, advanced pop-up builder, and so on. But for now, this should suffice what we need to do. So now I can go back to my site. Let's go and visit site. There won't be any changes, but this time I am going to go to specific page that we started on. So to go back to your pages, you just come back to pages here, click on all pages. This will give us all the pages, and let's go to our home page. So here it is. I'm going to click on edit. Now with the installation of Spectra, you're going to notice that things are going to be much different. But for me to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and remove what I have right now. Okay, so we have our heading here. Again, we're going to go in and remove it by just coming over here, delete. And then finally, we have our paragraph text. I can go in and delete it as well. All right, so now we're starting from scratch. Now you may have noticed things that have changed a little bit. Over here, we have this simplistic view. And when I click on this plus button, notice now that I have more elements to work with as compared to what I had before here with the text and the media and so on. Now we have all these. Okay, so to start off with, let's go with our container. I'm going to go with a single container. And then in this container, I am going to go in and add another one. Okay. In fact, I can now go to my document overview and I can see now that I have one big container and then I have another small one. So it is very easy now to click on that and know where you are. So let's add colors to these so you can see what is happening. So I've just clicked here and then I'm going to choose a color for the main container. All right. So there we go. And then for the second container, I'm also going to choose a color. So I'm going to come over here. This one here is going to be a bit darker like that so that you can see what I'm doing. I can right click here and duplicate if I need to like that. So these containers, the main purpose of them is for you to go in and add content. So if I click here and add a block, I can say browse all and then it gives me all these just like how it was before. I can add my heading and I can say this is my heading like before. Okay. Now we can see that this heading is not in the right place. I want it inside here. This is where things get really exciting because when I collapse everything like that, I can drag this and put it just under this item here. In fact, I dragged the wrong one. Okay, let's go in and just like that. Okay, now it's in the right container just by dragging and dropping. Okay, so we have paragraph here. So I'm going to say this is my paragraph text. Look at that. So already my website is now what? Coming together. Now in this one, we need to add an image. So I'm going to go ahead and click on image. And then I can say upload. In fact, you know what? We have an image in our media library, don't we? So let's go to our media library and here it is. Now I can click on select. Okay, so now we have our image. I'm going to save that. So let's say I want this design to be 50-50 side by side. This is where things get really exciting now. I can come to this container here and change the way things look. I'm going to come to general, scroll all the way down here, go to my layout, and then I'm going to change my direction. Oh, in fact, this is my direction here. First of all, let's get rid of this one. So with this main container selected, I can choose my direction here. And this just shows, how things are going to look on my site. But right now, we're not going to go very complicated with Flexbox. But if you do that, you can see now my design is now side by side. Okay. But that's just how you start to arrange things on your site. So you can do it that way. And then now you have your text over here to the left and so on. But the most important thing here is to see where you have your container. This is the main big one here. And then this one here is where the text is. And then this one here is where the image is. Okay, but with this you have way more flexibility when it comes to putting your website together, which is really cool. So I can add more elements in here. So let's say I delete this. Oops, I can remove this like that. So now I have my heading here. I can maybe add another image, clicking on this plus button, image. So let's just use the same one from our media library for demo purposes. Okay, so now you can see that this one here has a heading, this one here doesn't, and so on. So I'm going to delete this, or from here, I can just go in and delete. Okay, now let's say I want to duplicate this and move things around. All I have to do is to click here on these three little dots, and then I can duplicate it like that. And then if I wanted to move it over to the other side, it's easy. First of all, you need to locate it, which is right here. So I know it needs to come to this container above this image. So you can just click, drag it above this image. And now we have everything all equal on both sides. Okay, so let's say we want some spacing around this. So all you need to do is to locate your main container by selecting it. And then you want to now go to style. So this is the tab you want to go to. You go to spacing, and here's the padding. So you can set it as percentage. And now you can see that there's a lot of space now around my content, but you can reduce it to maybe about 4 and save. Now, as you're designing your website, you're going to notice that it's also very important that your website looks great on mobile devices. So this is where you can come over here and test and see if that is working. So if you come on tablet here, you can see things are looking okay. And then if you go again and click on mobile, okay, now they are stacked one on top of the other. So this is how it would look like on your mobile device. So as you can see, it is now much easier. In fact, let's have a look and see what people would be able to see when they come to this page. And here we go. So now I've added my content, and this is what it looks like. So we have our main container here, and then 2 containers that also have content inside. So you can do this with videos, you can do this with paragraph text. I mean, design, you can just go crazy with the design. So this was a basic getting started with WordPress, and the reasons why it's awesome, because right now with these elements that we have right now, it is very easy to start building on this. And this is how I've built my career in web design, and I have more than 15 years experience. So in the upcoming videos, I am going to be talking about building more advanced layouts, amazing plugins, and also do some reviews, so you can also have an idea of what works for what scenario. So this was my quick example, or my quick video showcasing why WordPress is the best. Go ahead, subscribe, and also don't forget to leave a comment, or if you have any questions, leave your questions in the comments box below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.